Today, I'm going to show you how you can draw literally anything with the envelope method. And as many of you have requested, I'll give you a demonstration for a complex figure drawing and show you how to go from this to this and finally this. As always, my materials are linked in the description. I hope you'll be able to follow along. I'll do my best to visualize my thoughts during the drawing process, but let me know if you have any further questions. In this part, I'll just show you the concept of the envelope method, and in the next part, I'm gonna dive deeper into the shading process, so stay tuned. The first thing I do is to create marks to set up my composition. I look at points which are the furthest away from the center of the figure. In this case, the top of the head, the hands, and butt and foot. And I focus on two things here. What is the vertical and what is the horizontal position? I don't think about any shapes and designs at this stage. I try to keep it as simple as possible. After I mark the point of the left hand, I now compare the right hand marking to that and ask myself, is this point higher or lower? I draw an imaginative connection between these 2 points, and you can also just use your pencil as a compass tool to see if it's straight or what kind of tilt is needed. I do the same thing vertically with the top of his head and the butt, and I try to judge whether or not this mark should be more to the left and how far to the bottom it should be placed compared to the other markings. And these are by no means set in stone. You can and probably will always go back and forth and correct what you did, which is good. It should be flexible and just guide you. My next mark will be the left elbow, and now I compare the distance from the 2 marks I have, and I try to judge the tilt right by imitating it with my pencil. I try to not come up with too many marks and keep it very simple and generalized. It doesn't need to be perfect here. My goal here is to find the outer envelope shape which encloses the whole figure. The key is really to find these outer marks, but once you have them, you basically just connect them. I know it looks silly at the moment and not like there's a lot going on here, but as we progress, you will see how everything comes together just from this basic shape. When I first read about this technique, I was very intimidated, but honestly, it is extremely reliable and not as complicated as it looks like. And I just want to point out, in my opinion, it is not about accuracy. It's not about copying the reference down to the tiniest detail. It's more about capturing the whole picture in a coherent way. At this point, you should be able to see clearly which marks I chose and how they all connect to one big envelope. It's a simple shape, but you'll see how effective it can be. So now that we have the outer envelope, I refine the shape and focus on getting rid of more negative space in between. I start with the arm, and sometimes I like to just draw the tilted line first, and I don't stop, I just want to get the tilt right. Then after that, I can commit to the connection point and decide about the specific length. And again, I try to compare as much information as possible. Remember, you already put down a lot of information, so use it to control yourself. Where the knee is, looking for shapes within the negative space can make things easier. For example, here the negative space is shaped like this sharp triangle. To carve out the right arm, I pay close attention to the distance between knee and arm. Generally, I still try to put down as few straight lines as possible in this stage. I try not to draw every little indent, but as you can see here, after I have a general shape, I like to define it a bit more to get a better feeling for the subject. Another small triangle between the leg here. When you start to carve out these shapes, you really begin to think, I see where this is going, and it feels much easier than the first stage, which is still very much abstract. But I really love this technique because you have to work with what you see. You don't come up with shapes and tubes and rectangles you don't see. You only use your observation, which in my opinion is just the key to realistic drawing. Realism, yes, but not achieving 100% accuracy. If you want a perfect copy, you should just trace or use the grid method, but I think using this method is meant to understand composition and capture the shape design. And again, I do have to correct myself every now and then, and as long as you catch yourself when something doesn't feel right, you're on a good way. For the rest of this stage, I continue defining the actual figure envelope and carve away more negative space. I just find it fascinating how you can come up with a well-readable silhouette from this very abstract shape. It always amazes me. So now, the last stage of how I use the envelope method is to work my way up inside the figure and actually drawing features including shadow shapes. And each step feels easier than the one before because you already established the fundamental base of the drawing. This process here is not very straightforward for me, so I can't really give you a step-by-step guide besides from showing what I do. I just try to define the anatomy here, identify the muscle shapes, and map out the shadows. I try to keep the pressure light. All these lines are very easily erasable, because you don't want sharp lines shining through your final stages of shading. It's in this stage when you will notice if anything is off by a lot, and then you might want to adjust the proportions until you think everything works together. And again, I'm sure if you wanted, you could point out my mistakes, but I hope you could also see the benefits of this technique and where it shines. In this stage of the construction, I also start rounding up edges and really go into defining shapes how I see them. Rounding up shapes is very easy when you have straight lines first, but if you start with curved lines right away, you are basically committing to them too early and you'll mentally have a harder time correcting them because you think they're already polished, if that makes sense. Oh, and yes, I left out the face and head of the model on purpose. Just didn't want to focus on the portrait part. Sometimes it's just an artistic choice to include the face or not. I like it when the body speaks for itself on its own. As you can see, I had to correct myself earlier in the process with the hand and foot on the right side, but to be fair, the paper format was quite small for this subject and I should have went with a bigger size to begin with. Most of these lines I put down in this stage are optional too. I like to draw them as a form of self-reflection to see whether or not I require some correcting, but if you're really confident in your proportions, you could as well just do everything with the shading. That all depends on your personal preference and skill level, so change it up however you need it. And this was how I use the envelope method for a figure study. I hope you found it useful to see how you start with this and end up with this. Let me know if you need any further explanation or if you want maybe a long commented version of a demonstration. This video was just supposed to give you an overview of the stages and what I pay attention to. So yeah, what do you think about this method? Let me know if you tried it yet, and then I'll see you next time for the shading part of this drawing.